we're going to do an air brake pre-trip. Our brakes are released. So what we're going to do is we have to make sure that our air will build up, and the governor will put the compressor in the unloading stage. You'll know that that's happened when you hear the purge. You're going to hear, and that's the air dryer purging. So this is going to happen between 105 and 135 psi. So we're just going to idle it up and wait till the truck purges. And it just purged, so now we know that the governor has put the compressor in the unloading stage. So what we need to do is we need to fan our brakes down, drop between 20 and 25 psi, and check to make sure that the governor will put the compressor in the loading stage. So we're just going to fan it down, lose some air. Okay, so we're down to about 80 psi. Just going to step on the gas, and we're going to watch the needles. Once the needles start to move, we know that the governor has put the compressor in the loading stage, which it is doing right now. They're coming back up, so it's went in the loading stage. Now we're going to fan the brakes down, making sure that the low air warning comes on. And it has to come on by 60 psi, audible and visual. And there it's on now. So we have a visual and we have an audible. We can hear it. All right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue fanning down. I'm just going to shut the truck off. You didn't have to shut it off. So we're going to fan this down to 50 psi or below. And this button may pop, may not. So we're going to continue fanning it down. So we're below 50. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check our compressor build-up time. We're going to idle it up to 1200 RPM. It has to build from 50 to 90 within 3 minutes. So we're at 50 and we're now going to time it. No air warning just went out at about 70 psi. We're now at 90 psi, and that took about 30 seconds, well within the time. So now we're going to build it up to about 110 psi. We're at about 110 now, so what I'm going to do is shut the truck off. Just make sure that your brakes are released, because now we have to do a brake application. It has to be between 90 and 100 psi, and we're going to hold it for 1 minute. We're not allowed to lose any more than 3 psi. So we're going to watch our application gauge. All right, and as you can see, we're at approximately 110 psi. So we're going to hold it for 1 minute. We have to time it. And we're going to be watching these gauges to make sure we don't lose any more than 3 psi in a minute. We're at 1 minute now and we didn't lose anything. So we're going to release our brakes. So now the last thing of your air brake pre-trip we have to do 2 brake responses. Before we can do them, we have to put our brakes on, We have to go out, unchock the wheels, and then we'll come back in and do our 2 brake responses. So we've unchocked our wheels. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start the truck up and make sure that the brakes are on. So our brakes are on. What we have to do is we have to do a response. We're going to put it in gear and make sure that the truck doesn't roll. So we're going to check to make sure that the brakes are actually on. So we're going to put this in D for drive. Brakes are released now. Sorry, we need them on just to check this. So we're just going to step on the gas and make sure that the truck won't move. And it won't, so our brakes are on. So now we have to release our brakes. We're going to do a rolling brake response. So we're just going to allow the truck to roll ahead. And we just step on the brakes. And the truck stops. So we've checked our brakes. We'll put it back in neutral. Put our brakes on. Shut our truck off. And now for ICBC, you would have to fill out a pre-trip inspection page, right, for them. So that is it. We're done.